Definition of language. Language is the door of communication. It enables humans to express their thoughts, ideas, emotions, and intentions to others. It is a complex and dynamic system of symbols, including words, gestures, and other forms of expression that are used to convey and create social connection. Allah. Cupert IL. 13 Definition of culture. Culture is a set of aspects shared by community and applied by its population. In other words, culture represents the daily life of a person and shapes his identity. Culture can be in terms of traditions, foods, partied, and all behavior of a human being. As an example, in Algeria, we have a lot of traditional things: couscous, kasbah, chabi music. 1/deficit hypothesis. Culture. Deficient hypothesis. Culture refers to a theoretical argument that the cultural attributes or practices often associated with historically disenfranchised racial ethnic groups, specifically blacks and Latin. Deficit hypothesis is the theory of cultural. Deficit hypothesis is the theory of cultural. The hypothesis believes that when group of people don't perform as others or in a different way, it is because of their cultural environment, means that they are affected their environment and their environment in not affecting them in a good way. The social lose that has been study-led according to this theory is the difference between the performance of white students and non-white students. They act differently because of their culture and environment. This theory believes that non-white students don't perform as well as their white friends because of the solution of their families. This theory, also called the disadvantage of culture, which means the negative influence of culture. For example, sometimes problem raised easily between an Arab person and a Kalslu person, because culture affect also in the interpretation of words. As an example, Arabs say words that are normal to them, but Kabyle people will think that they are insulting them. Deficit hypothesis believes that when group of people don't perform as others or in a different way, it is became of their cultural environment, means that they are affected their environment and their environment in not affecting them in a good way. The social me that has been study-led according to this theory is the difference between the performance of white students and white students. They act differently because of their culture and run from it. This theory believes that while students don't perform as well as their white friends because of the solution of their families. This theory, also called the disadvantage of culture, which means the negative influence of culture. For example, sometimes problem raised easily between an Arab person and a Kabyle person because culture affect also in the interpretation of words. As an example, Arabs say words that are normal to them, but Kabyle people will think that they are insulting them. Here are some examples of deficit hypothesis in relation to culture. 1/language deficits. The deficit hypothesis suggests that students who do not speak English as their first language are at a disadvantage in school because of their lack of proficiency in the dominant language. This view fails to recognize that bilingualism can be an asset and that students who speak multiple languages often have a better understanding of language structure and communication than monolingual students. 2/cultural differences in parenting. The deficit hypothesis suggests that children from some cultures are at a disadvantage because their parents do not provide the same level of support for academic success as parents from other cultures. This view ignores the fact that parenting styles and expectations vary across cultures, and that all parents want their children to succeed. 5. The correlation between language and culture. Language and culture are closely intertwined and often influence each other. Language is a fundamental aspect of culture and is used to express cultural values, beliefs, and practices. Likewise, culture can shape the way people use language and the meanings they attach to words and phrases. Here are some ways in which language and culture are correlated. 1. Vocabulary and concepts. Language reflects cultural values and priorities, and therefore the vocabulary and traits that exist within a language can reveal a great deal about the culture that uses it. For example, the Inuit people have many different words for different types of s, reflecting the importance of sand ire in their culture. 2. Idioms and expressions. Every language has its own set of idioms and expressions that are unique to the culture that uses it. These expressions often reveal cultural attitudes towards certain topics, politeness or social war. 3. Grammar and syntax. The way a language is structured and the rules that learn it can also reveal cultural values and practices. For example, In many languages, verbs are conjugated to show respect for the listener or speaker, reflecting a cultural emphasis on hierarchy and respect. 4. Communication styles. Cultural norms around communication can also shape the way people use language. For example, some cultures value indirect communication and may use euphemisms or nomerhalines to convey meaning, while others may be more direct and explicit. Overall, language and culture are deeply interconnected, and understanding one can often help to shed light on the other. Language is a tool that reflects and reinforces cultural norms and values, and the two are inextricably linked. 3. Social versus cultural affiliation. The meaning of culture and society. Society is a set of individuals share the same location, altitude, and traditions. Culture is an umbrella that cover all the ways of lifestyle living. Each of them exists due to each other. Each of them depends on the other. Does the meaning of the concept affiliation? According to the Learn's dictionary, affiliation means the psychological and social connection that individuals have with groups. It is the sense of belonging, attachment that individuals feel towards a particular group or community. The correlation and the difference between social and cultural affiliation. Cultural affiliation refers to the shared beliefs, values, customs, behaviors, and artifacts that characterize a group or society. Social affiliation, on the other hand, refers to the connections and relationships that people have with one another within a society. Communication styles. Correlation between cultural and social affiliation. There is a strong correlation between cultural and social affiliation, as culture is often a significant factor that influences the formation and maintenance of social relationships. For example, people who share a common language, religion, or cultural background are more likely to form social connections with one another. Differences between cultural and social affiliation. While cultural and social affiliation are related, there are also important differences between the two. Cultural affiliation is primarily focused on the shared beliefs, values, and practices of a group, while social affiliation is more concerned with the relationships and connections between people. Additionally, cultural affiliation tends to be more stable over time, while social affiliation can be more dynamic and subject to change based on individual circumstances and experiences. Finally, cultural affiliation is often more visible and explicit, while social affiliation can be more implicit and subtle. In summary, cultural and social affiliation are closely related but distinct concepts. Culture influences social connections, but social connections can also shape and transform cultural identity over time. Interculturality and language use. The meaning of interculturality. Interculturality is the interaction and exchange between individuals or groups from different cultures, with a focus on mutual respect, understanding, and appreciation of diverse cultural perspectives. It involves recognizing and valuing the differences and similarities between cultures, and seeking to build bridges of communication and cooperation across cultural boundaries. The importance of interculturality. Interculturality is important for a number of reasons. Promotes understanding and respect. Interculturality encourages individuals to reconcile and appreciate cultural diversity and to respect the perspectives and values of other cultures. This can help to reduce prejudice and discrimination, and promote greater harmony and understanding between different cultural groups. 2. Addresses prejudice and discrimination. Interculturality helps reduce prejudice and discrimination by promoting tolerance and respect for cultural differences. This can help create a more inclusive and equitable world. 3. Fosters creativity and innovation. Intercultural interactions can lead to the change of ideas and perspectives, which can foster creativity and innovation. This can lead to the development of new products, services, and solutions that benefit society. 4. International operation. In a globalized world, interculturality is essential for promoting international cooperation and understanding. It can help facilitate diplomacy, trade, and cultural exchange between nations. 3. Increases personal and professional development. Intercultural experiences can enhance personal and professional development by providing individuals with new skills, knowledge, and perspectives. This can help individuals become more adaptable, open-minded, and effective in diverse environments. Overall interculturality is important for creating a more peaceful, diverse, and inclusive society. It can help individuals and Muay Thais embrace cultural differences, promote understanding and respect, and foster operation and innovation. Hello, language and interculturality. Language plays a crucial role in interculturality because it is the primary means of communication between individuals from different cultures. Language is not only a tool for conveying information, but it is also deeply intertwined with culture, reflecting the values, beliefs, and customs of the society in which it is used. Effective communication across cultures requires not only linguistic proficiency, but also cultural sensitivity and awareness. This involves understanding not only the language itself, but also the cultural context in which it is used. For example, certain words or expressions may have different meanings or connotations in different cultures, and cultural norms around communication, such as the appropriate use of nonverbal cues, may also vary. Language is an essential component of interculturality, both as a means of communication and as a reflection of cultural values and practices. By promoting language proficiency and cultural awareness, we can build more inclusive and harmonious societies that value and celebrate cultural diversity.